I know I couldn't take a month off work to go and do CELTA, so if I was going to do it now, that would probably be a solution for me because that way I could continue working. So the first thing, you probably have heard it if you've done any kind of research into the course already, but CELTA is intense. Now, I want to drill down into that because that's just a general thing. People say, when you're doing your CELTA course, don't have a job at the same time. You can't work and do CELTA at the same time. So you need to take time off from work and you need to tell your family and friends that you're going to be less available. Now, that's absolutely true, and I'll continue to give that advice, and please do follow it. However, there is a big caveat there. This mainly applies if you are doing what's called the intensive course, which means Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. Now, this is not the only format in which you can do CELTA. You can do CELTA in other formats. There is indeed extensive options. When I lived and worked as a CELTA tutor in Sao Paulo in Brazil, we used to offer an extensive course which was just once a week, which was every Friday. And then the course was spread out over about 4 months. Now, this really suited people who, I know I couldn't take a month off work to go and do CELTA. So if I was going to do it now, that would probably be a solution for me because that way I could continue working and just take 1 day a week off. So I need to say that, the online course and the face-to-face course, those are different things. However, at the end of the online or the face-to-face course, you do come out with the same certificate. It's important to say these two things. If me as a CELTA tutor, how can I say that the two courses are, they're different, but you come out with the same certificate? Well, I say they're different in terms of the experience of doing them, and you need to think about yourself before you choose which one. A lot of us think, the online course, that's going to really suit me well because, I can stay at home, I don't need to travel, etc., and I can access a course that might be cheaper. All these things are true. However, you need to think about, first of all, are you comfortable using Zoom and managing 10 people on a Zoom call and then sharing your screen and all of these things? Do you have the proper equipment to do that? It's not just you can do it just with a laptop, but you're going to struggle if you only have a laptop. I would say you need to also have an additional secondary monitor to do it. I know myself, whenever I do any online teacher training or consultations or teaching at all, I'm always utilizing a second. In fact, I have 2 additional monitors along with my laptop. So, that's how, I'm very experienced in teaching online and using technology. I've been doing it for 15 plus years and still I wouldn't be able to do it. And I have quite a good laptop as well, but those are some considerations. Whereas the face-to-face, you don't need to worry about the technology so much, but maybe you might, not have a good option where you live to do CELTA. You might have to travel too far. It might be too expensive. There might be a whole bunch of considerations where the face-to-face course isn't really what would suit you. So, really think about how you're going to manage the intensity of the course itself. One thing to say, and you will find this out just from doing a cursory glance or a bit of reading from the Cambridge site itself, you can fail the CELTA course. Now, I don't want to give any scare tactics. I do have videos on this course of how you can get pass A in your CELTA course. So I'm very much focused on the positives here. However, just to be totally upfront, there is a certain percentage of trainees who do fail the course every year. It's in and around 5%. Now, so please fact check me if you wish on the exact number there, but it's in and around 5% of trainees who do fail the course. They're not just handing out certificates. You need to meet the criteria. I'm not trying to worry you or scare you. I just want you to, have your eyes fully open when you're going into the course, making that investment. That it is possible to fail it, but, it's a small percentage of people who do, and it's usually those who haven't prepared properly, who don't give themselves enough time, who aren't dedicated, who end up, and this leads me into my next piece of advice, who end up being resistant to the advice and feedback, end up taking it personally. And hey, I understand sometimes when you get feedback, when you get advice, when you get told something, sometimes it doesn't land the way you want it to. Sometimes the person who's telling it to you don't like their tone, you don't like the way they've said it. It just doesn't feel nice. I understand that. I totally get it. I've been there myself. all you got to do, if you find yourself in that situation that the feedback or the advice from your tutor or just your relationship with your tutor isn't going well, you really just got to compartmentalize that relationship and just look to the information that they're giving you. Look to what they're asking you to do and then implement that regardless of the relationship, regardless of whether you like them, regardless of whether it feels personal or not. I can guarantee you in 99.9% of the times, it's never personal. It might feel that way, but just don't take anything personal if you can. This is really going to help you. Even if it does kind of hurt a bit or you don't like the way that some feedback has landed, just don't take it personally. Listen to the advice and implement it from one lesson to the next, and it's really going to help you. The last thing to say, and people ask me, is CELTA worded? And I even actually have a video talking about that, whether CELTA is worded, where I go into some of the considerations. But one of the big conclusions that I had from that video, and I thought that I've had for a long time, is at the end of CELTA, you will be a qualified teacher. You will be able to teach. You will be a better teacher. Now, I'm basing this both on a bunch of angles. One, I'm a tutor. Two, I have lots of experience in, having been trained. I've done all the way up to Delta, etc. But I also have experience as a teacher without any certification. Way back when, my first experience of teaching was in France in about 2004 or 5. And I was just out of university and I moved to France for a year. And I just kind of fell into teaching. There was a position called assistant d'anglais, which means an English assistant. And this was a position in a high school or a lycée in France. And for those positions at the time, the only qualification for me as a native speaker of English was that I had a degree and I was a native speaker. Boom, you were an English assistant. And I was teaching kids. And, I went on from there and I actually moved to Spain still without any qualification. And I was teaching in the Bank of Spain, teaching these, professionals who were really looking for value for their money, for the service that they had paid for. And I found myself really stressed because I wasn't sure what I was doing ever. I was like, okay, I'll get this material or I get that material. I get a reading, I get a grammar, and I'll do a listening, I'll do that. And I was just bringing all this material so that I would have enough material to fill up the time. That was my biggest concern, actually, when I was teaching back in those days. I didn't want to be, there's 15 minutes left and I don't have anything for the lesson. So CELTA, when I did my course, it got rid of all of that anxiety. It just made me much more confident. I had a sense of, first of all, types of lessons: reading, writing, speaking, listening, grammar, vocabulary, functions, and pronunciation. First, I realized all of these things don't have to happen at the same time. You can do lessons that are just focused on those things. And everything else that CELTA teaches you, it'll make you a much more confident and effective teacher. Might go without saying, but it's the biggest takeaway for the, to me, it's the goal. It's what you're looking at when you're looking down the road. Why am I doing this course? Why am I putting myself through these assignments? Why am I putting myself through all of these hours and weeks of work? It's because at the end, you will be a teacher. You will have the tools, techniques, and methods and approaches to deliver effective lessons. Okay, that's it for this video. I just had a security guy come around there, ask me, what are you doing? And I told him I'm making a video to help people be English language teachers. And he said, okay, you're cool. You can keep doing that. But I think I'm going to move on and I'm going to go check out some more of New Orleans. I only got one more day left here, so I want to take in as much of the city as I possibly can. So let me know in the comments below how you prepared for CELTA. What are some of the things that you wish you knew before you did the course that might have helped you prepare? If you'd like to follow me on any social media, I am on Instagram, I am on Facebook. I have a Facebook page where you can get on there and speak with other people who are taking the course or have done the course. And, if you need some extra help or you'd like a consultation from me, you can, of course, reach out to me on any of the social media, send me a direct message, or you can email me info@integratedskillsacademy.com, and I'll be more than happy to set up a quick call with you to discuss your goals and how we could potentially work together to achieve those goals. Okay, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. All that's left for me to say is I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.